Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to go deep inside a world you see every single day, but have probably never really witnessed. We're talking about the microscopic drama, the secret life and death struggle that's playing out inside every flower.
Right. How does that happen? It's not magic, but it might as well be. It's this microscopic journey of just incredible precision. It is the story of how plants reproduce. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with a single determined grain of pollen on a mission to create new life.
So before we can follow our pollen grain, we really need to understand the arena where this whole drama takes place. It all unfolds right here, inside the unbelievably intricate world of the flower. Okay, so at the heart of the flower, you've got two key players. You've got the male parts, the stamens, which make the pollen, and then you have the female part, the pistil, which has this special landing pad up top called the stigma, and it is perfectly designed to catch that pollen. This, right here, this is the stage for our entire story. All right, let's meet our hero, the pollen grain. We're going to follow its origin story, and it all starts deep inside the flower's male part, a little place called the anther. Now, this whole process has a big, fancy scientific name, microsporogenesis. But please don't let that intimidate you. All it really means is the birth of the microspore, which is literally the very first stage of our pollen grain's life. If you were to slice an anther open, you'd find it's not just some simple sac. No way. It's basically a high-security vault with 4 different protective walls. And each layer, from the outer skin all the way to the inner sanctum, has a critical job to protect and to nurture the precious cargo inside. So let's focus on that innermost layer, the tapetum. Think of it like a super-powered nursery. It is packed with nutrients just ready to feed the developing pollen. And, this is critical, it builds the pollen grain's incredibly tough outer shell. That's its secret weapon for survival. Deep inside this vault, a single microspore mother cell divides in a really special way. It's called meiosis. So instead of just making a copy of itself, it creates 4 genetically unique cells. These are our 4 little heroes that are going to mature into pollen grains. And each of these microspores then develops into a pollen grain, and each one gets its own 2-layered suit of armor for the dangerous journey ahead. The outer layer, the exine, is made of one of the most resistant organic materials known to science, sporopollenin. But it has these little openings, or germ pores, which are basically the designated escape hatches for later. Now, here's a pretty fascinating detail. Not all pollen gets released at the same time. As this chart shows, about 60% of plants let their pollen go when it's still in a younger, 2-celled state. The other 40%, they wait until it's a bit more mature. It's a subtle but really important difference in strategy when you're trying to ensure successful fertilization. So while our hero, the pollen grain, is getting all geared up for its mission, a whole parallel story is unfolding on the female side, deep inside the ovule. This is where its counterpart, the female gamete, is waiting for it to arrive. This process is called megasporogenesis, which is basically the female equivalent of what we just saw. And its entire purpose is to create the perfect environment, this thing called the embryo sac, which is going to house and protect the precious female egg cell. But here's where things get really dramatic. Unlike the male side, where all 4 of those microspores survived, here it's a tale of survival of the fittest. The megaspore mother cell also makes 4 cells, but 3 of them just wither away, leaving just 1 functional megaspore to carry on the legacy. And this one surviving cell, it's a true champion. It divides and rearranges itself into this incredibly organized structure. It is a biological marvel. It somehow ends up with 7 cells, but contains 8 nuclei. This is the fully prepared embryo sac, and it's now ready and waiting. Okay, let's get to the climax of our story, pollination and fertilization. The stage is set, the players are ready, and now the pollen grain has to embark on its most important mission, to reach the ovule and deliver its precious genetic cargo. Once a pollen grain lands on that stigma, and its pollen tube successfully grows all the way down and reaches the embryo sac, something truly remarkable happens. It's an event that is totally unique to flowering plants. It's called double fertilization. This right here, this is the genius of flowering plants. They don't just fertilize the egg, they perform 2 fusions at the exact same time. The first fusion creates the zygote,
That's the actual future plant. But the second fusion does something equally important. It creates the endosperm, which is a nutrient-packed food supply. It's like packing a lunch for the baby before it even starts growing. This is what gives flowering plants a massive evolutionary advantage.
So, with fertilization complete, the flower's job is pretty much done. Now it undergoes this radical and beautiful transformation. It sheds its petals, and it creates the legacy for the next generation, the seed and the fruit.
After fertilization, every single part of that flower gets a new assignment. The tiny little zygote starts growing into the embryo. The endosperm becomes its dedicated food source. The ovule itself hardens into a protective seed, and in the final, most visible transformation, the ovary wall swells and ripens into the fruit that we eat.
You know, the growth of that tiny embryo isn't random at all. It follows a very precise architectural plan, moving through these distinct stages. It starts as just a simple ball of cells, but then it organizes itself into a heart shape, meticulously building the blueprint for the entire future plant.
But, get this, here's a fascinating twist. A whole group of plants called monocots, we're talking grasses, corn, lilies, they actually found a shortcut. They build their embryos so efficiently that they completely skip the heart-shaped stage, jumping straight from that simple ball of cells to a more mature form. It's a total evolutionary efficiency hack.
So, from a single grain of pollen to a fully formed fruit, what a journey. It's this intricate dance of cells. It's a story of survival, and it's a display of incredible biological engineering. It's a system that just ensures life finds a way, turning a fleeting flower into a seed that can carry an entire species